Hey y'all, welcome to the Pungo Prairie. Now my best friend Willard took his 9-year-old princess Francesca out on Back Bay yesterday for the youth waterfowl hunt. And she shot this big old Canada goose with her 410 shotgun. And I'm gonna fix him up in my Le Creuset goose pot the Pungo Prairie way. So don't go nowhere, cause you don't wanna miss this. These downy feathers are piled so lofty, it's easy to see why. My goose down jacket keeps me so warm and toasty. Trim out some of that fat. He's honker. Okay, we got our goose all dressed. We're just gonna take him in the kitchen here, give him a little shower, and finish getting him gussied up for that Le Creuset goose pot. Now we got our goose all ready to go in the pot. Let me tell you about some other ingredients we're gonna use in cooking up our goose. We got some celery, some onion, and some apples, which we're gonna cut up and stuff inside the body cavity, along with these fresh herbs. We got some thyme, some rosemary, and some parsley. And root vegetables, some potato, carrots, rutabaga, and a turnip we're going to cut up and throw in that pot along with our goose. Now the first thing we're going to do here is take this little needle from my marinade injector, turn it sideways, and poke it just into the skin all along this goose. Now what we're trying to achieve here is to release some of that fat that's just under the skin. That way, as the goose goes through the cooking process, hopefully we're going to wind up with a nice crispy outside. Now be careful to just pierce through the skin, not into the meat, because we don't want all the juice to run out of the meat and wind up with a dry goose. Now we're going to cut this lemon in half, squeeze and rub it all over the goose. Let some of that lemon juice get down into all those pores we just opened up through the skin with that needle. Get the backside and throw what's left of the lemon into the body cavity. Cut our apple, core it, slice it up, quarter up our yellow onion, throw in some apple, some onion, some celery, kind of alternate. Get a good even mix going on in there. Take a nice little bouquet of our fresh parsley, thyme, and rosemary and stuff that in there. A little more celery, apples, onion. Now we're going to season up the outside of our goose. I use a product I get from the restaurant supply called Total Seasoning, but you can use anything you want. A blend of salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, other herbs and spices that tickle your fancy. Anything that you want that you think will be good to rub on the outside of this goose, go ahead and do it. Just season and rub. Get it all down in there in the pores of that goose skin. Turn him over, get the other side. Now we're just going to pour a little bit of wine into the body cavity of this goose. You could use a Madeira or a Sangria, anything that's kind of fruity. Now I've got my cast iron goose pot coming up to temperature in a 325-degree oven. While that's going on, I'm going to prepare our root vegetables. Take the pajamas off our rutabaga here. Next, our turnip. Cut up our potatoes, our carrot, slice up our turnip, and then quarter the slices. Do the same with our rutabaga. Put it all in a dish here. Drizzle a little bit of olive oil all over our root vegetables. A little bit more of our seasoning. Now there's something important for you to know about that I forgot to tell you. Before you start this whole process we've been doing here, you want your goose to be at room temperature. If he's been in the freezer, get him out a couple days ahead of time, put him in the refrigerator so he can thaw out nice and slow. But before you start doing everything we've done here so far, make sure your goose is up to room temperature. Hot goose pot. Set him right down here on our rack in the pot or in the vegetables. Put the lid on it. Back she goes into our 325-degree oven. We'll come back and check on it in about 45 minutes or so. 45 minutes, it's about 112. Now here's the thing about a Canada goose. Wild ducks too, for that matter, they have red meat. And just like beef, that's the way you want to cook it. Just like a fine cut of beef. Rare, medium maybe. But anything past that, forget about it. You want something cooked well done, go fry yourself up a turkey burger. Now what we're trying to achieve is an internal meat temperature on our goose breasts of somewhere between 130 and 140 degrees. Personally, I like to keep it closer to 130. However, the legs and the thighs take longer to get there than the breast does. So herein lies the challenge. Now I ran across this fella Hank Shaw, and he's got a great method for dealing with this. Now when our goose roasting in the pot gets up to 130 degrees on the breast, we're going to remove it from the oven, fillet the breasts off the carcass, put the rest back in the pot, and let it cook for about another maybe 15-20 minutes or so till it gets to the right degree of doneness. So thanks to Hank, we got the problem solved. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes. Let's see what we got. A little above 130. I think we're going to hold it right there. We're just going to transfer our goose to this platter here and separate our legs and our thighs from the breast. Right in that joint. Okay, that's one. And that one comes free. Alright, we want to cut it away where the wing joined the breast. Get the other side. Now we want to go right down along the center on one side of that breastbone. Lay that breast right on off of there. Okay. And we go get the other side. Just feel right on down beside that wishbone. Bring the meat back. Right on down. Okay, we got our breast free. Isn't that pretty? We're going to just take and set our carcass aside. Put our leg and thigh quarters back in our pot. And transfer back all our nice juice. Now I'm going to add some garlic cloves. Back with our lid and back in the oven for maybe another 15 minutes or so. Now comes the crisping up part. I'm going to heat up some olive oil in this pan here. And we're going to sear our breast skin side down. Now we're just going to sear them a minute or two in that pan, pressing the breast down so that all of that skin gets seared nice. Okay. We're going to transfer them back to our platter here. Isn't that pretty? We're going to do the same thing to our leg and thigh quarters. Put them down in there good. Get them seared off nice. Plate them up. Now put our goose pot back on the stove with those garlic cloves and all those retained juices from where we cooked our bird. We're going to make us a gravy. I'm going to add a couple cups of chicken stock. And I mixed up a little bit of flour here and some cold chicken stock. I'm going to add that to the pot for a little thickening. Just whisk that around in there good. Now while our gravy's simmering and thickening up a little bit, I'm just going to carve up our goose breast. And we're just going to carve it slightly on a bias. Isn't that beautiful? And a few of these fresh mustard greens. Now Willard and Francesca are on their way over, so I'm not going to try it till they get here. But that, my friends, is a way to cook your goose the Pungo Prairie way. Francesca, baby, you ready for your goose?
Yes.
Your goose is cooked.
Look at there, girlfriend, look at there.
I'm glad you're a good shot.
Good job, Dixon.
You want to say blessing for us?
Sure. Dear God, thank you for this wonderful meal and a happy Valentine's Day. Good blessings to all. Amen.
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 And thank you that Francesca is such a good shot.
Better than her daddy.
Well, that don't take much. Willard, you gonna pour us a little wine? Francesca, here's to you, baby doll. Thank you.
Thank you. Good shot.
Yum.
And the goose is good.
Mine cooked.
And now I'm getting bit.
You ready to shoot another one?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
The goose is good.
Yep. What else did you shoot that day?
I shot a, what do you call it?
Cattle.
Yeah.
What did we do in the blind?
We had bacon, egg, sausage.
Yeah, we cooked bacon and sausage.
All I'm waiting for now is probably next year for Christmas, I'll get my duck mounted.
You all got the dishwashers here?
Yep.
And that, girls and boys, is what's cooking on the Pungo Prairie.